All right, Brett. So you were very, very excited taking a look at things. What comp excited you most here?
I am extremely interested in the double Leshak Balgon undermanned comp with Deacons as a small end. This is the idea of, you know what? Leshaks do a lot of damage. Let's see how this works. Whereas Ride My Tail have gone with an entirely different comp, which is interesting for a different reason. They've gone for drone control with Armageddon and a Rapier to keep everything away, and a lot of drones with double Ishtar, double Mem.
Yeah, this is a really interesting matchup, but I gotta say now, Ride My Turtle have a huge advantage if we're going by the statistics. Undermanned comps have such a long history of not working out in the Alliance tournament. The only sort of variation that's ever really been super effective is the Tinkers, and neither of these sides are a Tinker. In fact, Test Alliance, please ignore, have no logistics on the field at all, other than those deacons. It's going to be so hard to keep those ships alive without anything to screen for them as well. The match is starting here, though. It's going to be a question, I think, of what to Ride My Turtle put their DPS on to start with. Personally, I'd try and go for that Myrmidon, get those links off the field, sick your drones on there, and then pull back, spread newts. It's going to be so difficult to get the Lashaks onto a team that can spread out like this from Ride My Turtle.
Yeah, and you've just got a lot of rushing on that Ishtar. You've got a single Vengeance pulling forward to maybe tackle the Garmers, but when the Leshaks finally get on top of that Ishtar and finally start applying damage, it's going to be a bad time. They are burning close and maybe out-tracking their own guns, but let's see how damage is applied now.
Oh yeah, that Ishtar Madcrafter, he is donezo. There is no way those deacons are burning in to try and save him. Oh no, I say that, and Baratham, he's getting dangerously close to the fight here. He's got to watch his positioning. There's every chance that they could turn for him. In fact,
Yeah,
Posker's going in. It looks like they're deploying their tackle into this scrum here around Madcrafter. Was this maybe
boom!
an intentional tactic?
We lost a Leshak because we lost Garmers because they've dropped bouncers and are now headshotting the Garmers the moment they slow down. Yes, the Deacons are burning close because they know the Leshaks are out tracking their own guns, and the longer the Ishtar stays alive, the longer they have to just snipe smaller things. They're putting pot shots into the Deacon and the Leshak, and the Deacon. They're just switching between
Madcrafter
everything.
there finally going down. You can see he is finally going down in the middle. Now it's going to be a question of where do these Lashaks go to and can they grab a hold of anything? Can they keep that attack bar up? Ride My Turtle's attack bar is going to be stable for almost the entire fight as long as they leave their drones on something they can apply to.
A really awkward thing they're doing right now is they're trying to shoot a Deacon when it's not tackled. They have it slowed down, and they know the moment they track, it's just going to be deleted. But the bouncers are just about not tracking, so you're only seeing a tiny bit of damage, and not that boom headshot that we saw with the Garmers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch out for IIR though. Here, he's burnt his ADC, but he is still webbed, neutered, grappled. He is right in the thick of things there. It's gonna be difficult for him to pull out at only 20 meters a second, and he doesn't have his ADC to cope with incoming DPS here. He's gonna watch out.
Yeah, they need to swap off this Deacon now. They need to shoot something else that they can actually track because they haven't slowed this Deacon down long enough. They need to pop some of the smaller stuff until eventually they can get close enough and apply webs. You are seeing some damage drop onto the Balagon, and that might just be one or two people shooting, but they're still going for this Deacon and just not doing any damage because of the mitigation.
Yeah, you can see there finally IIR. The tackle war here is going in favor of Test Alliance somehow, despite the fact that they've got no tackle left. This is really good stuff. You can see that these ships, the Myrmidon pilot, Neil Swats, he's been doing great just picking these vengeances out, webbing them down, preparing them for the Balgon to swap newts onto them every time they come in too close. This is great piloting from Test Alliance.
Yeah, but I'm begging Turtle, please shoot something that isn't a Deacon. Come on. Anything else you could track and would have had killed right now. You can't track those Deacons. You have enough damage with double Mem and Ishtar and Armageddon damage. If you can hit anything else on this field, come on.
And there we go. That's another vengeance there. Breaking, gone. They've got no tackle left now on this Ride My Turtle team. Nothing to screen off these deacons, and you can see those Balgon newts are starting to apply to Baratham, and the remote repair effects have completely stopped on Ride My Turtle's team. This is a dangerous point in the match now.
Yeah, Ride My Turtle have the Armageddon and can newt something off with the rapier webs and absolutely destroy it, but they're just not doing that. They're finally shooting the Balgorn now, but I have to ask: is it little bit too late? Because they're now applying damage to the Balgorn. Is it a little bit too late? And because they've lost all their tackle, are they not going to be able to do this?
I think they're still going to be able to apply, so it's not going to be as bad as we think. They're still going to be able to pull back, spread out, and kind of play things by ear. And if they use the micro jump drive beacons effectively, they should be able to buy themselves enough time to at least win, maybe on points, but they would need to kill something relatively quick here. And it's going to be difficult to kill anything through those Deacon reps, given how bunched together Test Alliance is now at this point.
Yeah, with the Armageddon as well, is they don't really need to shoot the deacons. They can just drop newts on the deacons and apply damage onto something else. Because of course the Armageddon has bonus range, whereas the Balgorn has bonus new amount. So the Balgorn is much more heavy newts, whereas Ride My Turtle has the bonus for range in this situation.
Yeah, what I'm finding is really interesting here is how Ride My Turtle are coordinating their E-War, and it is really effective. You can see that here, they're pushing Aryan Tamarail off by using the newts to stop his spool and push him out of range on that Armageddon. And I predict that once he gets out of range, they're going to swap those newts again over to Gene and cut off that spool. They've been doing this for a while, and it's stopped these Leshaks from having a huge effect on the match, even though they have been able to kill off those bits of tackle.
Oh, really interesting. We are seeing the sentry drones sniping heavy drones. I don't believe there's any left. All the Leshak's heavy red drones have finally been killed. So hopefully we're going to see
Oh,
him shoot something else. Because if you look, the deacons are close enough. You're seeing webs on other things. Hopefully that rapier bends in and get webs on
Justice
whatever
for
they want to shoot
Hungary is
next.
tackled though here. This is going to be potentially really dangerous. This is a lot of offensive control here for Ride My Turtle, now potentially in danger, and those Leshaks are going to be able to get on top of him quick. You can see here they're burning all the way across the arena to him, and they're going to start spooling up with a Colt. Those deacons won't be able to rep through that. Sorry, the deacons won't be able to rep through that.
Yeah, hopefully the Armageddon can spike its newts and spike out the gun on the Leshaks, but that is entirely whether that actually happens. We are seeing the Deacon of Dante finally going down. The Rapier's bent back in and has double webbed it. He's slowing down slow enough that the other Deacon can't rep it in time. If they manage to break through the two Deacons, they can slowly start wearing down these Leshaks, but it's whether they don't have enough time.
Yeah, that was Neil Swats again. They're just like, I don't know what's been going on, but Ride My Turtle just been completely ignoring this Myrmidon. He's been able to get tackle on so many things just by hanging around and being an unkillable brick. And it's cost them dearly so far in this match.
Yeah, I just have a feeling if Ride My Tail will try to shoot anything other than the small deacons with heavy sentry drones, they'd be having a better time right now. Especially with Armageddon to apply newts to deacons.
Yeah, those deacons are still surviving. They're hanging on, even though Ride My Turtle now are right on top of them. They can apply all of their offensive control to it. It's just not letting them do enough work with these sentry drones. They maybe need to swap out to heavies or something. You can see there are a few berserkers swapping around it, but most of the drones out that are still active seem to be either curators or bouncers. And Justice for Hungary here is going into 20% armor, and I don't think he's going to hold on for much longer.
And they are still trying to shoot a deacon which isn't tackled, and we're seeing Justice go down.
Yeah,
This is
this is a sunk cost fallacy at work here, guys. You can't keep shooting the
look,
same thing.
they're finally shooting something else and they're breaking the Myrmidon immediately, like I've said from the start.
Oh.
As the Armageddon goes down, they realize anything else on this comp they can actually apply damage to. The Mem's already in 3/4 armor.
Yeah, you can see the deacons though, they're burning over to him. They're starting to apply those reps to him. He should be okay here potentially. Those berserkers are still going to take their time moving over to him. The mix of drone damage here is really hurting them. It makes it so difficult for them to hot swap between targets.
Yeah, all they needed to do was have the Armageddon apply a single heavy nuke to the Deacon, and the Deacon can no longer rep. So all that Armageddon needed to do was get within 40 of a Deacon, and then they shoot anything else. But they sunk cost fallacy and decided to shoot a Deacon that, despite having 2 rapier webs, they couldn't track.
I can almost hear Black Bart Pirate crying in the studio. His beautiful statistic of like 18 losses in a row for undermanned setups is now ruined here by Test Alliance Please Ignore potentially. 1 minute left on the clock here, and Test Alliance Please Ignore have such a solid lead. It's going to be difficult, even with a boundary violation, for Ride My Turtle to bring this back now.
Yeah, I think there is nothing a single ship points wise can do by
Oh,
dying.
and Moki Sake and the Deacon gets tackled. Malfi Vipe is tackled as well.
Yeah, it looks like they've got close enough to the Leshaks that the Leshaks have got grapples on them with the Balgorn double webs. They've just been a little bit close. They've just been a little bit close and managed to pop with the long range Balgorn webs, managed to slow something down long enough that the Leshaks are getting right on top of it, and we're starting to see the rest of the team fall apart.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. It was a really good attempt here from Ride My Turtle. I like this composition, although I think if EOSes are unbanned, you probably want to bring EOSes in a comp like this. They had so much DPS, but it's not enough. This game does go to time, but Test Alliance Please Ignore clinches it with 51 points to 4. So let's head back to the studio and analyze this before getting on to the next one.